What's up everyone, my name is Matthew and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a sort of beginner's guide build to Acolytes of Kuu. This is by no means a late game build, this is for people who have more or less just started to unlock the class and they've maybe jumped into a few game modes, they've increased the rune slots in some of the abilities. So we're going to be looking at a build that uses the court dancer. And that will mean that we'll unfortunately only have two choices for the gear that we receive. And that is the Zarakeshian set as well as the cultist set. Those are the two we'll be able to choose from. We want that 15% attack speed for sure. And then the next thing is the weapon. And the weapon that we're going to be using for this build is the Cosmic Ray. And the reason we want to use the Cosmic Ray is because we have the runes to back it. Now, you might not have progressed with your runes that far yet. The rune that we're going to be using is for the Cosmic Rays is chained targets, and we're going to be pairing chained targets with the rune that increases, there we go, Zul, increases the effectiveness of moon runes by 100%. And the other rune that we're going to have on it is actually Yiln, which is going to give an additional rune slot to our Frostfall ability. Which brings me to the next ability, and that is our power ability, Frostfall. Now, take note, this is projectiles. All right, so we got 5 icy projectiles that fall from the sky, and this is very nice to have. We're going to be putting a additional rune on this, a rune slot on this, by putting the Yiln rune on our primary weapon. And it's important to do that before unlocking the third passive or third ability that you unlock, which is Freezing Vortex. So if you want to progress nicely through this build, work on your Freezing Vortex, work on your Frostfall, get them to level 10, as well as Cosmic Ray. Now, this is also a safety build, everyone. This is not a massive damage build. This is going to be for a lot of survivability, and yeah, if you want to take things safe, you want to complete the ritual and get everything out of it that you need to get out of it. In fact, I'm going to remove these from the Obelisk of Flesh because some of you will not have unlocked this yet, so the effects of that is not going to be very helpful to show you in the video, which increases their attack speed. I'm rather going to go with the rest of my shards of the Black Planet in the Obelisk of the Moon. I don't need it in the Obelisk of Primordials because, as you can see, I have substantial amount of maxed out runes already. So we're going to jump in, we're going to find one with a combination of Obelisk of the Sun and Obelisk of the Moon, and the Chasm of Fallen Heroes looks to be doing just that. We're going to jump right in. And firstly, I'm going to look for a death-touched Acolyte because I don't want to be bleeding. And immediately, I'm not seeing one with rerolls. I am a reroll fiend. If you know my playstyle, I will look through this list until I find a death-touched Acolyte of Kuu with a reroll. One reroll can make the biggest difference. So, I'll see you when I got it. Alrighty, we've got movement speed, which is meh. But one reroll, I like it. And we're going to go with the Court Dancer. Let's get our weapon, Cosmic Rays. Boom bam. And we're just going to start chipping away at these spiders. I'm going to go for Obliterate first. I'm going to build that critical hit damage a bit. Just 1 point. I'm not critting a lot yet. Now, we're going to go with Frostfall, as I mentioned before. So we have projectiles, we have chained. So projectiles in frost form, we're not utilizing it that much yet, but double shot chance and projectile amount is really nice. I don't need either of these right now. I'm going to go with barrage. See, our ice falls on nothing because our cosmic rays are doing enough damage as it is. This is why I very much welcome the obelisk where you increase the attack speed, because it actually increases the rate at which they spawn, which is really nice. Attack reach, movement recharge rate, not bad. I'll take that. Survivability is not an issue for me yet, so why think about upgrading survivability when it's not a problem? And again, we're going to get our 4th slot on here, so we're going to go on Cosmic Ray, we're going to go to Eldritch, and we're going to rune slot to random other ability. It's not that random if the only other ability you have is the one you wanted on. So we've got a first piece of gear here, and I might end up skipping this, to be honest, unless there's really good. Yeah, I'm gonna skip this. And you might be thinking, why are you skipping it? Why on earth are you skipping? Are you mad? Does it look like I need it right now, guys? And we got Freezing Vortex. Now, we're going to look for one additional Freezing Vortex, and that is why I'm keeping my rerolls and waiting for potentially legendary gear to drop, so that I don't have to spend 8 rerolls just to get the gear to legendary. I don't want to do that, and I really want an additional Freezing Vortex for this build. And you'll see why it becomes really fun. Well, I guess everyone has a different interpretation of fun, but I really like standing in the middle and just seeing everything come to a standstill around me. That is some ranged attacks coming in that very fortunately I noticed soon enough. And we're going to go with our first point in Call of Winter. And we are not utilizing Frostfall that much yet. So instead, I'm going to go with our chain targets to increase by 100%, which is massive just as it is. And again, I don't want to spend all of that to get it up, but you know what? Let's start with our first blue piece at least. If you're wondering, this is not a build where I'm just going to be stacking legendary items on top of each other. I find it pretty lame. That's just my personal opinion. So let me see. I like this. Lunar damage, critical hit chance, and chance to freeze with Lunar on a set that has the chance to freeze with Lunar. That's really nice. Let's look at the other ones. Critical hit damage, all damage, damage to health. I'm going to go with the Cultist Vest with the 2 additional stat bonuses. And now I'm going to go with Resistance Piercing. And the reason I go with Resistance Piercing is so that I can do more damage to elites, because elites have a certain amount of resistances to lunar, primordial, and solar damage. So by increasing our piercing to their resistances, we will nullify those resistances. Alrighty, again, let's go with Obliterate. We don't want those other ones just yet. You know, increasing our barrier amount. Have we lost barrier much? No. Okay, Jumpy Boys are coming in. They are really annoying. Means I need the jumpy ads and the range ones are what make this build, or what make you need to walk around quite a lot with this build. You know, if it's just the normal melee ads, you can just stand in the middle and have absolutely no issue with anything. I'll show you an example of that in a bit. Teleport, let's get our teleport ability. I don't want, I've done it before where I have the jump, the comet ability, and then you jump up and land, and as soon as you land, you just get annihilated. Actually, he rotated a lot faster than I was expecting him to. Obviously, wasn't freezing him fast enough. Let's go with attack reach here. And please, can I have Zaladon's Rings of Rapid Strikes? I will take that. That is helping me with this build, and I'm at a point where I can eeny, meeny, miny, moe this, because I have all the runes that I need, and I don't use the ones that are currently being dropped for me. Again, we're looking for our second Freezing Vortex, but I'm not going to spend 8 to bring this up to Legendary, and we'll get our second piece of gear. We got the first one with the Cultist 2-piece, right? Just make sure. Yeah. Oh, the Cultist first piece of the Cultist set. Chance to freeze, attack reach. I don't want to repeat those. I feel like I have those already. So I wanna look for stats that are something that I don't have that I can upgrade later. Instant attack is great. I don't like chance to spawn healing. That's lame. Projectile amount, critical hit damage, attack speed. This I kind of like. I can deal with this. But see here, critical hit chance. This, I'm going to go for this. That's much better. I don't know why I didn't spot that earlier. And now we're going to be adding... this is my favorite when this happens. Increase effectiveness of moon runes. And now look at the chains. Look at the cosmic ray chains. It is just... And with our Zaladon's Ring of Rapid Strikes, we are cruising now. Yes, I see the gear at the top there. I'm very upset that it is not at least blue. I'm probably going to skip that piece. In fact, let me go and do that now. Let's go with... Honestly, a skip. Let me skip this. Again, I'm not feeling the need to add any sort of attack. I'm doing fine, you know, with the situation I'm currently in, and that's something you need to always consider. Is how are you currently doing in you know, if you're not damaging them at all, and you know you're finding yourself constantly having to use your movement abilities to get away from them and all of that jazz, then by all means. But okay, I'm starting to feel it a little bit now, so I don't think I will skip the items again. But like I said, I'm really just hoping for a legendary to drop. And we're just going to stand behind him because he's way too slow to turn around now, being frozen like that, and boom bam. Let's go with Barrage. Now we're going to start with the Frostfall. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to critical hit chance. I don't want to do this because I'm building crit on my gear. I do want stupid amounts of critical hit damage though. So I'm going to go with critical hit damage. And then again, we're not getting legendaries. I'm going to skip this. And just come chill here in the middle for a bit until the ranged guys spawn, if they do spawn. You see how quickly they freeze? And you can become very relaxed in this situation, right? Where you're standing in the middle, you're untouchable. Be careful for the ranged ads that are going to be spawning, because they are going to make your life tough. Alright, we're going to go with double shot chance here. That means that we're going to potentially have double the amount of projectiles on our Frostfall, which is huge. And we got our first Spirit Caravan. I wonder where they are. I mean, there you are. And watch them come to a standstill now, with me being next to them. Your damage output could not even be that great, but having Freezing Vortex with chance to freeze so high just brings them to a stop, so you could take your time getting rid of them. And last one, we're going to go with damage increase per life lost. Oh, damage to burning. No. Let's go with a skip. Those, not really feeling them that much. As well as these, I'm not very... Lunar damage, I guess, is nice. I'll take it, but it really depends. I really hope I get a legendary piece here. Not even a gear piece. Man, that sucks. It's not the most... you know what? I'm going to skip this also. I really want to get my second... you see? Now we've got some ranged skeletons here. We're going to go for our final point in Obliterate. And now you need to be very careful here, because the range... before I get into that, I only need to spend 5 points now. So I'm going to do it. We're going to bank on getting Freezing Vortex with nice rolls. Ooh, it's looking grim. One more roll. Ugh. That sucks. You know what? It really sucks for the purpose of this guide, but that is why you want to make sure that you have a lot of rerolls. Burst shot, solar damage, not ideal. And just keep zigzagging here when the range guys are here, because zigzagging will throw them off a bit. Now this guy is looking to do some big damage here. I'm gonna just dart away. Get him frozen down. Hey, that's Zordolf. Isn't that the creator of the game? Increased proc chance. Huge. Alright, and now... Are we going to complete the Cultist set and get more crit hit damage? I feel like we've got quite a lot of crit hit damage already. So I might actually move over to Zarakeshian and get a 3-piece of Zarakeshian and increase the proc chance. And now we're going to go with our Primordial Runes effectiveness increase. And we've got Band of Primal Power now. So our crits have a chance to be massive, and we've already got additional proc chance, and we're building towards a set that's going to increase that proc chance even more with the 3-piece Zarakeshian set. And just take note of the sort of damage that Frostfall is doing when the Band of Primal Power procs. So, a second Freezing Vortex here instead of Burst Shot? I don't think you guys understand how quickly they come to a complete standstill. They become useless. Every single boss, every single ad that spawns, except for the range, become utterly useless. And that is so fun to see. So if you do have an opportunity to get a freezing vortex there instead of burst shot, awesome. And again, I'm not happy with any of these either, to be honest. So skip. I'm not getting great rolls on. I'm not getting good gear. I usually get a lot more blue items and as well as legendaries to drop, but it's been terrible. Skip. But this is the first step, is the attack reach of Freezing Vortex. Look how wide it is now. And remember, that builds on top of our reach from Astral Reach, which we haven't even gotten too deep into yet. And the next one that we're going to put on is Instant Attack Chance. You might be thinking, but it's not an attack. Sure. But what I'm pretty sure it means in this case is it has a chance to instantly freeze them if I put that on. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments down below if that's not how it works. I need to start blinking around a little bit too. Let's get some more attack reach. See how big Freezing Vortex is now. And I'm going to show you an example now of the whole untouchable thing I was talking to you about. Until the range attacks start coming in. And like I said, you need to be very careful, because remember, we haven't been building anything with regards to survivability. So if those ranged attacks start coming in and you don't notice them, you could very, very easily lose 3 lives in a split second, which is not what you want. So I'm just going to, continue moving around. I'm worried about it, especially the spider's ranged abilities. You can't really see it that well in this map. Look how the spider is going to be useless. Okay, wait. Oh, it's useless, but I mean the jumpy spiders made it so that I can't just chill behind the back. And increase the effectiveness of sun runes by 100%. Yes, please. We're gonna go. We still have a piece of gear that we need to get and upgrade. So let's get some more rerolls. There's actually another one where we can add to our rerolls, as well as this one. Now I'm going to go for more barrage. And I think leaving myself with 2 rerolls after upgrading this. I still have almost 8 minutes left, so let's give it a chance. Maybe we get a gear drop that is blue. I think it's called rare, right? Alright, attack speed per life lost. This is actually quite nice because we don't have this anywhere else. So this stacking with the Zeladon's Ring of rapid strikes could be very nice. And look at the range of Freezing Vortex here and its effectiveness now, after putting these runes on it. Again, I need to be careful here because if the ranged spiders come out, it's trouble. Alright, I'm getting a bit nervous here, so start moving around a bit. I'm going to go with the Death's Embrace now, so we can start snowballing a bit. Because I think this means, obviously I started this with 6 lives because of where I placed my Shards of the Black Planet. But I'm pretty sure it should count as having already lost 4 lives. Let me know in the comments if you can confirm whether that's true or not. Or if it only starts counting from actually losing a life from 6 to 5. It'd be very interesting. Okay, now we get it, obviously. Now we don't actually want it or need it, but we'll take it. Let's see if we can get a Freezing Vortex here. And am I going to be wasting all of this again? Let's see. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to go for stats here. I need Zarakeshian. 1 more piece of Zarakeshian to get the 3 piece of the instant proc chance. So I'm going to look for stats on Zarakeshian. Instant attack chance for rare. See, I was already at 75% chance for rare, and I hardly got that. I'm not liking this. Critical hit chance, that's great. Healing soul, super average. An instant attack. You know what? Arcane orbs count as lunar abilities, so I benefit from having that. And critical hit chance, I really want. So, and we're gonna go with the damage to frozen and chance to freeze here with lunar attacks. And just I love playing it where everything around me is just absolutely useless. I love that. Because I've played this mode where, you know, these spiders come in and they overwhelm you, and so it's just so satisfying to me to play it where they're utterly useless. Just going around and collecting the soul coins and XP. Also, the reason I'm not liking burst shot here is because it sounds like there are ranged mobs on the map, but it's not, it's just me. And we're gonna go with our last point in Barrage. At least our high points in Barrage are making a big difference to our burst shot. Again, a completely useless boss because it's too slow to do anything. Love that for myself. Critical hit chance, let's go. Instant attack chance, let's go. Let's just get more chains going out. And instant attack chance helps everything here, if I'm not mistaken. You need to read the tooltip again for instant attack chance, but I'm pretty sure any ability that is an attack has a chance to fire off twice in a row. Like I said, I could be wrong, but it's just my understanding of it. Let me know in the comments if you have a confirmed description. Instantly frozen. And I don't even have a double freezing vortex. And that kind of makes me believe it's not that necessary. I just need mine with the runes on. Yeah, actually, look at how quickly they freeze. I don't think you need the second I don't think you need the second freezing vortex, to be honest. I need to really just watch out for ranged here. And I'm going to increase my reach. Look at how far the cosmic ray chains are going, by the way. And how many of them there are. And that causes my power ability to go off the ice shards of the frostfall. It causes it to go off so much more frequently. Alright, I'm not getting XP here. We have a spirit caravan. The reason I'm not getting XP is because everything's lying on the outskirts. So we'll wait and see where the spirit caravan is and make our way over there and start collecting. And we found it. And now again, they're going to come to a complete standstill here. Alright, we're just going to rotate around them like this so that the frostfall can absolutely destroy them. Hello! How are you? You're not gonna make it. Ooh, damage reflected on block. Completely useless. Projectile pierce also very interestingly here. Our projectiles are falling down. So they're not going to pierce further than the ground. So also a useless thing for Frostfall is projectile pierce. Let's see. Critical hit damage increase, I like. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ooh, we're actually at... We've only got 3 left to max out the level, which is quite cool. Collecting all this XP around the edges. Coming through. We got a boss. One that's going to be utterly useless again. And take note, this is the last boss. And we're just circling it, dodging the jumpy spiders. Okay. Good grief. Last boss. And that should be done. Which really doesn't even matter, to be honest, but we'll go with critical hit chance again. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. And I tried this build in the arena. You know, the endless mode, and it wasn't that great towards the later phases. But I also was playing as a human, and I think I was just bleeding to death. So there's that. Damage per life lost. Let's increase that a little bit, yeah. And yeah, take note, we have not lost a life. We started with 6, and we're ending with 6. Go attack reach. Not that any of this really matters. Only a minute and 43 to go. And we're getting 1 million crits via the band of primal power on our Frostfall, which is falling very quickly. And you do kind of want to just like worm your way around them to get the Frostfall to land on them nicely. I must say, I completely forgot about the fact that we have arcane orbs. They're doing quite a substantial amount of damage too. And damage to frozen, for sure. Everything is frozen, so... You see, I can walk right next to them, but they're so frozen that they don't really have time to attack. None of this really matters. 7 seconds left. I might just take anything. And watch us get instantly nuked by the ghosts. That shows you how little survivability we actually had. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you do, drop me a like, subscribe. I'm going to try to give you more build guides that are efficient and not too complex to build, as well as you don't have to be too deep and far into the game to have unlocked the things that you need for them. So stay tuned to the channel to find out more. See you in the next one.